So far on this hunting trip in Germany, I've enjoyed the hospitality, the scenery and the success of my fellow hunters. But I'm yet to see any wildlife, let alone anything in the crosshairs. A new morning means there's a chance to put that right. On our approach, the guide tells me he's spotted some deer in the clearing. Unfortunately, they're red deer. We grab a brief glimpse, but an hour later we have a ringside seat to watch what will be a very impressive stag.
It's early in the second morning of our hunt. We've just seen a beautiful red stag just come across the ride in front of us. As we're walking out, there was a small herd of red deer that just disappeared into the bushes there. But once we'd settled down into the high seat up here, this magnificent stag just came out. Now he's still in velvet, as you can see. But he's going to be a big boy when he gets older. It's great to finally see some animals.
It's a super morning. The only noise interrupting the birdsong is from the wasps chewing the high seat. But again we draw a blank. That evening we're hoping to go a step further, with either a roebuck or a boar showing itself. However, this time we end up whiling away the hours with some red hinds and fallow deer, which are not normally found on this ground.
This is a slightly more salubrious high seat than the one we've had previously. As you can see, it's fully enclosed, which means the boar and the roebuck won't be able to see our movements. We've got plenty of observation points here as well, so the far side of the field on my left is around 170 yards to the edge of the wood, and on the right about 100 yards, so my rifle is zeroed for 150, so it's pretty much aim on.
Much as I enjoy the deer, I'm starting to get a bit anxious that this trip is going to offer much but deliver nothing. The next outing does little to change my mind. This time a small roebuck, which I can shoot, walks in front of the seat. Every time he stops, I'm unsighted. He eventually dips into the undergrowth. It's the last morning. We spent the equivalent of a whole day in various stands waiting for some action. We're now drinking in the Last Chance Saloon. The weather is pants and it looks like this will have been an enjoyable but fruitless trip.
It's been raining pretty heavily since early in the morning, and all of the ground outside is very wet. Now we're not overly hopeful, but you never know, it's still quite early. Still half light, it's not fully brightened up yet, so the wild boar could still be moving back in off the fields. Fingers crossed, but this ain't great weather for hunting.
Things look up after about an hour when a rodo with a kid pops out of the undergrowth. We watch her for about half an hour before the heart starts beating faster, and a buck looks like he's going to walk straight towards us. Frustratingly, he takes a turn, followed soon after by another doe. With the clock ticking and the comfort of a car seat beckoning, the buck reappears in front of us. The trees provide regular protection, but finally he stands still just long enough for me to shoot.
After all that waiting, 4 days I've been waiting for this, and then the last half an hour, we've literally got 25 minutes before we get out of the high seat, and a beautiful buck. And here it is. Actually, not quite as big as I first thought, but crikey, that's an exit wound. So let's have a good look at him. So as you can see, he was quartering on to me, and with some brush roughly up to the side here. So the shot looks a little bit high, but as you can see, it took out both lungs, and the exit wound is absolutely enormous. But he's probably the best looking buck we've shot so far. He's a little odd, non-typical 6-pointer. One quite low down, just above the brow, and then this little funky kicker over here at the back. But good sized buck. Really, really pleased. Nice purling down here on the base of the antlers. So you never knew it hit him.
I gralloch him in the field, ready for the guys back at the hunting lodge to tag him and hang him in the chiller, ready for the game dealer.
So we've had 3 solid days hunting here in Bloomberg, which have been great, but in that time I've spent nearly 20 hours in a high seat. And until the very last 20 minutes of my last stalk, we didn't have anything we could have taken a shot at. Now, it's not to say there's no game here. We've seen red stags, red hinds, fallow bucks, fallow does, mouflon rams, and plenty of roe-does. But until this fella came out, that was the first shot we had. When we first got here this morning, it was absolutely teeming it down with rain, and we thought, this is a lost cause. We sat in the high seat, and at one point we contemplated coming back to the truck and having a nap, but luckily we didn't, because just when we started losing hope, we saw a roe-doe followed by this fella here. It just goes to show that sometimes patience and perseverance does pay off.
To really offset the weekend, we have a traditional ceremony in front of our host's impressive home. All of the hunters are applauded for their shooting skills, and the animals are shown enormous respect. It's a great way to mark the end of our time here.